Shalom, brothers. This brother Kamal Mahar here, back at it again. First thing first, I'm going to give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, qadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders on the truth from GMS. Blessings to the Aki, my dear, preaching his word. Will hold our true sincerity. Blessings to the 144,000 and 1/3 entirely. The first fruits kingdom of heaven. Also David, the Biyafdawada, the elect. And shalom to you brothers out there speaking in different tongues and looking different nations. Shalom, brothers. So today, I went to this article, laying back off another brother that I seen that put this video up. I forgot what was he, GMS Salaki. I think it was not a solemn assembly. I forgot what it was, but through the spirit, I was checking the brother's video out, and boom, I wanted to land back off this Turkey, Iran, and Russia alliance coming in here. And that's beautiful because that's prophecy. You know what I'm saying? They're one of the top three characters of World War III that's ultimately going to destroy Babylon. You know what I mean? So-called America. With ICBM missiles, man. So it's a beautiful thing for them to, this is looking really well as far as prophecy reasons. It says this is from the Jerusalem Post. It says Turkey seeks to cement Iran alliance, which is a great thing. Because Iran and Russia are already allies, and Turkey wants to get in with the alliance because all three are considered to have a common enemy, so which is Babylon, so-called America. So it says and Ankara has pivoted in the last several years to work with Russia and Iran, fueled by the Trump administration, which worked closely with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. And it says right here, it says in a sign of its increasing desire to work closely with Tehran against U.S. interests in the Middle East, Turkey hosted Iran's foreign minister Javad Zarif in Ankara on Friday. It says the meeting illustrated that Turkey's recent push for Azerbaijan to fight Armenians in the Caucasus will likely end with Ankara, Moscow, and Tehran cooperating in the region to carve it up into spheres of influence like Syria and Libya. Interesting. It says, fueled by the Trump administration's having worked closely with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Ankara has pivoted in the last year to engage with Russia and Iran. This appears counterintuitive because Washington wanted to work with Turkey and even gave it a greater role in Syria. But Ankara's goal was to use the blank check it had from the Trump administration to move away from NATO into the orbit of Moscow and Tehran in order to partition areas of the Middle East and remove the U.S. and the EU. So we can see now that, the Turkey is pretty much turning her back on Babylon, man, and making a strong alliance with Iran and Russia, which ultimately is going to be the reason why, the push away, and then obviously allies just are separated from Babylon, will lead up to Babylon's destruction, because the whole world hates the whore. You see what I'm saying? The daughter virgin of Babylon, man. The whole world hates the whore. All they do is just invade and rob, rape, and murder. That's it. So it makes sense. The Lord is definitely making moves. So call law Yahawashi for that. Let me see. There might be a little more on this. I might have got to the point, or maybe not. Let me see. Turkish, Iran, which are to the secretly always supported the Iran deal. Ah, snaps. Okay, so let me go to the second paragraph right here. From this point, it says Turkish and Iranian media, which are all pro-government, herald the new era of Turkey-Iran ties. Ankara has pushed for Washington to return to the Iran deal. Turkey told the Trump administration that it was a bulwark against the Iran and Russia, but secretly it always supported the Iran deal and opposed the Trump administration's tough talk of Tehran. But in order to receive key support from U.S. State Department and men like U.S. Syria envoy James Jeffrey, Turkey was willing to pretend it cared about confronting Iran. Zarif said in Ankara on Friday that both Iran and Turkey have a common stance that stability will be restored to the region only through synergy. Wow. Zarif made the remarks in a post on his official Twitter account on Friday at the end of his visit to Turkey, where he held constructive, friendly, and fruitful talks with Erdogan and Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu. Press TV in Iran noted. Wow. Yeah, it's... Okay, so Turkey and Russia are also opening a coordination center in Karabakh, the Armenian area that Turkey prodded Azerbaijan to retake in September. This illustrates that Russia and Turkey will now work closely in Idlib, Idlib in Syria and Libya and in Azerbaijan, while the U.S. and Italy appear to be slowly down arms sales in Saudi Arabia. Turkey has bought Russia's S-400 air defense system and is mostly closer to Moscow and Tehran in key deals. Turkish media also praised the Iron Silk Road, a new rail line to Baku and then Russia that will carry goods. Turkey is also shipping goods via rail to China, and Abadu reports. Yeah, so yeah, they're definitely stepping out on America and going into to Iran and Russia and Iran. That's where Turkey wants to ultimately go, and shoot, and that's going to obviously put Turkey in a more better secure position in the world, obviously in their particular regions, like they just stated, and separate from Babylon. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody really want to deal with Babylon, but this is ultimately coming into prophecy, where major characters will ultimately shoot their missiles at Babylon. I want to get into some precepts with that. This is beautiful, man. This is absolutely gorgeous. I want to get into I can start at Zephaniah 3:8. It says, "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahawah, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy." Right? And so what the Lord is going to do is, he's obviously, as he directing this movie that we're in, he's directing nations to come with each other against Babylon, because pretty much at the very latter end of this thing, all the nations are going to separate from Babylon and shoot all at the same time, which was in my other videos, which I'm actually bring that precept out again. Matter of fact, that's in Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, I believe the 9th verse. It says, which is part of this, which a really good precept again for this video, according to the article I just brought out. It says, I'll read at start at 8. "Remove out of the midst of Babylon, and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the he-goats before the flocks. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. For from thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of the mighty expert man, and none shall return in vain." Right? And so I brought this out in my last video, but how appropriate is it of now? Because the Lord is setting up all these alliances with other nations against Babylon, like it says, and you can see by Turkey pulling out of ties with Babylon, so-called America, they're going with the other nations because everybody's really in cahoots against Babylon for real, and they're just showing their real true colors of how they really feel and blatantly just doing it. I'm going to read that again. It says, "For lo," Jeremiah 50:9, "For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as the mighty expert man, and none shall return in vain." Right? So the Lord is going to, is going to send for all the nations to come on Babylon, man. And, and also I had put in this, in my last video, which is also 14. It says, "Put yourselves in array against Babylon," speaking about all the nations: Iran, Russia, Turkey, China, Japan, Taiwan, all the pretty much all the countries who have ICBM capabilities will be a part of this prophecy right here. And it says, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. And it says, shout against her round about. She have given her in her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Take vengeance upon her, as she have done unto her. Right. And so, reading this article, I wanted to bring that article out because you can see how the other nations are becoming allies more in abundance now, and against America, man. And shoot, that's part of the prophecy. And like it says in Habakkuk, it said it's not going to tarry, but even though it tarry, it will not. It's just for a appointed time. Let me not butcher that, because we can see these prophecies coming in. Habakkuk 2 and 3, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, and it will not tarry. And what appointed time are we speaking of? We speaking of Babylon's destruction through World War III, and in the valley of Jehoshaphat, when all the countries are shooting arrows at Babylon. That's a vision at a appointed time that's not going to tarry, but that's coming very fast. And shoot, let me go ahead. What was that one? You know what? Let me go to Jeremiah 51, actually, 1 and 2. It says, thus saith Yahawah, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me, a destroying wind. And that's just, what's that destroying wind? That's those ICBM missiles that's going to be shot from the ends of the earth from all the other countries who have capabilities all at one time. And here we go, according to the article, all the allies coming together, shooting at Babylon at one time. Again, it says Jeremiah 51 and 2. And I will send unto Babylon fanners. Now, fanners are twofold. You got fanners as being the ICBM missiles, what causes those destroying wind. And also fanners are the other nations shooting those ICBM missiles, that shall fan her and shall empty her land. And for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. And who's that her? It's the all the countries shooting all those missiles at one time. It says, against him, 3, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in the Brendigon, and spare ye not her young men, destroy he utterly all her hosts. Right. And it's going, and look, every missile from Iran, from Turkey, from Russia, from Taiwan, Japan, South Korea, North Korea, China, Africa, wherever there are ICBM missile capabilities. Once again, the Lord is saying through a prophecy that he's going to make every country shoot at one given time. That's like the 300 Spartan movie where it says, our arrow shall blot out the sun. And it's going to look like that too, with a bunch of missiles though. And what a beautiful thing that we're looking forward to see. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, we want to, because ultimately, Lord willing, I could be a part of that number. I get to deliver and be in the chariots and watch it from the chariots, man. And then we got to change body and come down, man, with that kingdom, man. You know what I mean? With Yahawashi. Beautiful. Was that Ezekiel 38? It says, and the word unto the Lord Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi came unto me, saying, this is Ezekiel, son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, which is Russia, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, the prophecy against him, and say, thus saith your Lord Yahawah, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine horses, army, horses, and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, with them, all them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarma in the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. It says, after many days thou shalt be visited, in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste. But it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. That's beautiful, man. So the Lord is going to bring all the nations, man. All the nations, starting with Gog and Magog. And it's going to be a nice little battle in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. Shoot, I had, let me see. I had brought that one as well. I should have already known that one. Yeah, what is that? Joel 3 and 2. Absolutely. I'm going to end off with this precept right here, because that's where the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the Middle East, where Israel is at, is where World War III is going to hold itself. Joel 3 and 2. I'm going to read the top. It says, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the Valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. Yeah, and what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense? And if your recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head?" Absolutely. "Because you have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things." Yup, and the children of Israel. Here we go, getting into it. "The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, that you might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither you have sold them, and will return the recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabines, to a people far off. For the Lord Yahawashi have spoken it." Call Lord Yahawashi, man. You know what I mean? The Lord is going to definitely, plead with these nations, man, for the controversy of Jerusalem, man. So I want, Lord willing, this is edifying to you, brothers. Abaraktasai. I want to give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham and qadash. Yahawah, he is to be, exists, Bahasham in the name, and the only begotten Son, the Lord and Savior, deliver, Yahawashi, Bahasham in the name, and the Holy Spirit of qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and learners true from GMS. Blessing to the Aki Madera preaching his word with whole true sincerity. Blessing to the 144,000 and 1/3, the first fruits kingdom of heaven. Dasa David, the Biyaf Dawadah. Shalom to you brothers out there speaking in different tongues and looking in different nations. Shalom, brothers.